So, good morning, everyone. Whoa, hold on and look at this pile of trash. Every paper, every wrap, every bottle, these are not just pieces of trash. These are our decisions. And our decisions are opportunities. We are throwing away them as if we don't care. How many of you have thrown your trash inside a wrong bin today? Can you please put your hands up? Yeah, so as we can see, this is the evidence of today's life. Now imagine if every single one of this object ended up in a recycling bin instead. Imagine the difference it would make, not only for our campus, but also for our society, for our environment, and for our future at the end. That is exactly why we are here, to show you how those actions can change our waste and how the actions itself can change into a recycling plan for our other campus nowadays. But before we'll start talking about the solutions and our findings, I want to let you walk through our conversation with me. Firstly, we will talk about the problems. Why does it actually matter to 88 campus to do this work and to start recycling process? What challenges we actually face, and will it actually help us? Then we'll talk about the solution. However, I want to leave it as an intrigue because my classmate will talk about it, and if I will just open all my cards, it will be boring for you to listen at the end. And finally, we'll talk about the impact. How does it benefit not only ADA community, but the whole society itself? This all leads to one final central argument. Recycling at ADA campus can be impactful by several steps, such as introducing a new guideless system of recycling, adding more bins, and leading the student-led clubs, which will reduce the waste, also will share the responsibility in ADA campus. And to support this, we didn't just rely on our assumptions. We made an interview with our classmates from different faculties. And however, surprisingly, their answers were quite consistent. They were all saying that they really would like to recycle. The problem is they don't know how to do this, what to recycle, they cannot find bins near our campus, and they don't have motivation because there is no organized system. When the system becomes better, the people will become easier and understand the value of it. One student even told us, I cannot recycle because it's not visible and not easy for me to do that. Let me show our interview to you.
Is it going to take long?
No.
I have a question for you. Do you consider that dirty nowadays?
Hello, I think yes, because people sometimes submit their own items to the wrong recycling bins, and people in ITA, I think, are not aware enough about the recycle.
Yeah, I do agree. Thank you a lot.
Hi, do you consider ADA
First of all, big shout out to our cleaners. Of course, thanks to them, ADA is relatively clean. Not relatively clean, it is very clean, and you will definitely not see anything unhygienic. However, unfortunately, there are some students who maybe litter something. Most of the times are coffee cups. People leave their coffee cups or leave their food and then leave. I feel like it's very disrespectful towards the cleaners, but generally the cleaners are doing a very good job, and unfortunately there's more problem in the students.
Do you consider ADA dirty nowadays?
Hello, I consider APA as a dirty place, especially C building, and I think people here don't really care about recycling.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
So this all shows us that people really care about recycling. Today, me and my team will talk about how to change this problem into opportunities. We'll explain that the stopping from recycling was what simple changes we can make to a huge difference, and what can we transform ADA campus into a cleaner, greener, and more responsible way. So now that we know that the problem exists, the real question is, what is exactly stopping us from recycling more efficiently at ADA campus?
The issue isn't lack of interest. It's about the obstacles that we face, that we cannot recycle at ADA campus. And we are going to go through 3 of them. The first is many students simply don't know what can be recycled. So our interviews and surveys actually proved it again and again. Some students said that they don't know if this cup is a plastic or not, or someone said that they don't want to recycle the wrong thing. And when people are not sure, they default to the trash. It's not because they don't care, but it's because they don't want to guess. And the second one is recycling bins are not always easy to find or use. So think about your day. You drink your coffee, and you finish your coffee, and you look around, and suddenly there is no recycling bin in there near you. It's not visible. Maybe it is behind the trash bin. Maybe the label is unclear. And when the trash bin is right in front of you, that's where the bottle goes, instead of recycling bin. And even if the student wanted to recycle, they will have to throw that into trash can. And the third one is there is not enough motivation or system that reminds students to recycle. Without visible signs, without organized patterns, recycling becomes optional. And it is something that you will do only if you remember. And these are the evidences in the C building that you can see. And these small obstacles actually add up. And eventually, the recycling items end up being in the trash bin. And increasing waste and making our campus look less clean. More importantly, we lose a chance to build a responsible and environmentally aware school community. The problem isn't that students do not care. The problem is our campus isn't set up to help them act on that care. When the system becomes easier, people become better. So now that we know the barriers, we can move to the next step. How do we fix them? Let's take a look at how simple changes can transform our campus into a cleaner and greener place.
Thank you very much, Zara. Now that we've clearly seen the problem and understood why it matters to all of us, let's take a look at the solution. It's remarkably simple. Ada University needs a crystal clear, intuitive recycling guidance system. No more guessing games. No more looking at the trash and whispering, is this for paper? Is this for plastic? We need a clear, simple system that will tell us what to do and how to do it. When the system becomes easier, people become better. Now, we know our solution works not just because it looks nice on the presentation, but because it's been proven in the real life. The University of Berkeley, British Columbia, is a perfect example of this. They implemented a campus-wide recycling guidance system that used two key elements. As you can see over here, they put visual, clear labels on every single one of their trash cans. Blue for plastic, green for paper, and black for general waste. Crucially, they also had images of the items that are supposed to be placed in every single one of these trash bins. Second of all, they also had a short orientation video for students to watch. It's around 30 seconds long. And they also put posters across every hallway so that students will reinforce this idea and understand where to throw their trash and whether to throw it or not. Now, the results speak for themselves. Thank you very much. So, when the University of British Columbia implemented this strategy, it saw a 50% drop in recycling contamination in just 1 year. More than half of all of their mistakes vanished. This proves, once again, beyond a doubt, when the system becomes easier, people become better. So how can we implement this within Ada School, Ada University? We would put bright labels on every single trash can. We would put a short video for students to watch so that they will reinforce this idea. We would put trash cans in places where students can see them, not tucked away in some corner. Now, if you can see my teammates, they're showing how effective this solution can be. A green sign for paper. It shows that with a visible guide, students will know where to throw their trash, and it will show that there will be a change made in our school. Yeah. So now we know what you're thinking. This will cost way too much money, but this is a very low-cost plan. It uses our existing bins. We just need the labels. It uses our existing school equipment. We just need the short video. We just need a visible, clear guide for students to watch. Because when the system becomes easier, people become better. And now Fatou is going to show us the future of our university and how it's going to help.
Let's step into what our campus could become. Envision ADA campus with no bottles on the ground, no wrappers, no clusters around the benches. The entire area feels brighter and more cared for. With less waste piling up in our landfills, our environmental impact shrinks, and ADA stands as a small but meaningful example of sustainable behavior. Students act accordingly, and their actions encourage others to follow that. Now, we kindly ask you to try to place yourselves in that future. See yourself walking through a clean cafeteria where not even a single piece of trash distracts your eye. Try to see yourself in that clean, organized, and fresh environment. And deep down, you know that this didn't happen by chance. It happened because you, all of you, and other students made mindful decisions every day that added up to something truly meaningful. Together, we made ADA campus grow greener, more responsible, and more sustainable. To turn that future into our reality, we have to take small actions starting now. Try to use the recycling bins consistently and correctly. Also, we kindly ask you to motivate your friends to do the same. With a quick nudge, small example, or even trying to help them to sort their trash, you can shift their habits more than you might expect. And most importantly, we ask you to sign our petition by Green Teams organization, which runs awareness events and helps to keep our campus clean. This organization's purpose is to prove that when systems becomes easier, people become better. And as we move forward together, we want you to leave you with this. When each of us takes responsibility, the campus we walk through tomorrow will reflect our decisions we make today. So take a step, take a stand, lend a hand. Together we'll clean up our land.